Hello Virgo, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. How does Virgo currently view this relationship? Kind of looks like you officially made up your mind, possibly about someone and or something. But I do want to look at the Justice card just to get a rough idea, Virgo, of what's going on. So let's look at the Justice card really quickly here. Tell me more about Justice for Virgo, Sun, Rising, and Venus. Okay. So we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. We also have the Ten of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Hermit, and then we also have the Devil out here. All right. Virgo, it kind of looks like you made up your mind about someone, okay? Now this someone is someone that you had or still have, for those of you who are still dealing with this person, a very toxic and unhealthy relationship with is what I'm gathering. With the Ace of Cups, especially with the Seven of Cups coming out here to the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like your relationship with this person has definitely taught you what you truly want and desire within a person, what you don't want and desire within a person. It kind of looks like your relationship with this person has just made you a little bit more crystal clear on what you truly want and desire, but most importantly, what you deserve, okay, is what I'm gathering. So you're kind of coming down to this conclusion, Virgo, that this person may not have what you truly want and desire. They may not, fit what it is that you're looking for. I'm also getting that for some of you out there. But this relationship, has caused you to come down to the conclusion as well that this person and your relationship with this person is just simply not good for you. So we do see you coming down to this conclusion, right, about this individual and your relationship with them. We'll see what happens next, though, because that's the only thing I'm getting, okay, is that you've officially made up your mind about this individual, okay, and the conclusion that you essentially came down to about this individual and your relationship with them. Now, we don't really see you doing anything as of right now about this person that you're dealing with just yet, but let's look at them. How does this person currently view this relationship? Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords, we got the Page of Wands, and then we also have the Three of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Page of Pentacles. Man, well, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this person's under the impression that all is good / great between the two of you. Yeah, that's like the best way that I can put it. So it's like, as you're coming down to this conclusion, right, that this person's not good for you, they're under the impression that everything's cool, everything's good, everything's great, around here. No complaints coming from this person whatsoever. Okay, so that's kind of telling me that you're kind of coming down to this conclusion, all right, boom, so this person's not good for me. That's kind of, but you're not, it's like you're not telling them about it. It's like, I don't see you sharing with this person how you feel like your marriage with them or your relationship with them is just not working for you. It's just not good for you. You just don't want to continue to be a part of it. I don't really see you having that discussion with this person. It's like God, how do I say it? It's like you're, just kind of going about this relationship like everything's cool, everything's great, everything's fine, when in all actuality, that's really not the case from, the looks of it. And I feel like that's kind of why they're under the impression all is good / great around here, Ooh, so remember, we did get the Devil. The Devil is linked to the Tower. Every time you see the Devil, eventually the Tower is going to come out, vice versa. You're highly considering. Oh, there goes the Devil. You're highly considering and walking away from this relationship. I am definitely getting, especially with the Six of Cups coming out here, that you have been dealing with this individual for quite some time now, okay? According to you, you feel like things are never going to change and or improve here between the two of you. According to you, you feel like history is constantly repeating itself in this entire situation, which is something that you don't want to continue to be a part of. As far as experiencing instability, and toxicity, drama, chaos, dysfunction, I mean, the list goes on and on. I feel like it's one of those things, Virgo, where the bad is really starting to outweigh the good. Through your perspective, the bad is starting to outweigh the good, so much to the point where you are highly considering and walking away from this entire situation. Okay. So a lot of you feel like, okay, it's time. It's time to get up and walk away from this. Nothing's going to ever change. Nothing's going to ever improve. This is just not going to work out. So this is kind of what you feel, again, like doing. We'll see what actually ends up happening in the end, okay? How does this person currently feel? We have the Eight of Wands, we got the Knight of Wands, and then we also have the Page of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the, we do have the Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and then we also have the Ten of Wands. Oh, it's coming. It's coming as far as like the talk is concerned. It's definitely coming is what I'm gathering. You know, I don't know. This is kind of strange to me because the fact that we got the Devil, the Five of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Tower, like that's kind of telling me that your relationship with this person's pretty damn bad, okay? From the looks of it, okay? But the fact that they just keep like showing up with this energy, like, oh, everything's fine over here, everything's great, you know, it's kind of making me feel like this relationship is definitely not affecting them as much as it's affecting you, because it's affecting you in such a negative way. But it kind of looks like it's not really affecting them in a negative way whatsoever. Another thing too, Virgo, I just feel like the bad is outweighing the good in this marriage and a relationship. I am definitely getting that. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things you don't like about this marriage and a relationship that you share with this person. And I feel like every time you try to like have a conversation with them about it or bring it to their attention, it's like they just perceive you, right? As somebody who just wants to start stuff with them. As somebody who just wants to start stuff with them. So that's kind of telling me that you more than likely have a lot of unresolved issues here with this person, because it kind of looks like every time you try to like bring to their attention what's essentially bothering you within this marriage or bothering you within this relationship, it's like they immediately shut you down by like saying something along the lines of, oh my God, Virgo, it's like every time things are good between us, you just got to start something with me. Oh my God, you just want to argue with me. You just want to fight with me. Like, it has that type of flavor to it. Hence the Ten of Wands to the Five of Wands. That's telling me that there's a lot of unresolved issues here. Because instead of this person, like, you know, having a conversation with you, getting down to like a resolution, it's like they just come in and just immediately shut you down. Like, oh, Virgo, you always want to start shit with me. You just want to fight, Virgo. You just want to fight. You just can't stand when things are good between us. Like, okay. All right. What actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? All right. The person in the Strength card is the Empress, and then we do have the Emperor. I say all of that to say this. You've definitely come down to this conclusion that the reason why you're not happy is because the reality of the situation is that they don't fit what you truly want and desire within a person. And I'm gonna be honest. This person has showed up as a page 2 times. So that's telling me that they're very, 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 very far. Like, they're not a hair away from being everything you want and desire. Like, they're very, very, they're miles and 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 miles, honey, away from what you truly want and desire. And a lot of you feel like in order to have someone by your side that truly does fit what you want, truly does fit what you're looking for, you have to do away with this entire situation. You have to make room for it, right? And that's exactly what we see you doing. We see you severing ties here with this person to make room for what you feel you essentially deserve to have in your life, but most importantly, by your side. Fair enough. What actions? Let's see. What actions will this person take towards Virgo or moving forward? So we have the Two of Pentacles to Ten of Cups, and then we also have the Ace of Pentacles, okay? The bottom of the deck, we do have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this person keeps showing up as a page. And you're an Empress. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, all right. Man, okay. Well, Page of Cups basically represents somebody who's emotionally mature. Page of Wands is that type of person that says they're going to go off and do something, but they never do. So you may have dealt with them having a very difficult time following through on a lot of things, because a Page of Wands is that type of person that, you know, says, I'm going to go do this with my life. I'm going to go do that with my life, but then they never do. So this person could have made a lot of empty promises in your direction. They could have, you know, promised you that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, or that they're not going to do X, Y, and Z, but then they don't ever really follow through. You know what I mean? So they're not like a man or a woman of their word, basically. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Yeah, this person may not be the best when it comes down to communicating within this dynamic that they share, you know, with you. So then there's that. You know, it makes sense why you guys may have been with one another for a long period of time, because an Empress is somebody who typically has a lot of patience. Typically, an Empress is somebody who has a lot of patience. So it makes sense as to why you lasted as long as you did with this person, is because, you know, you utilized a lot of patience with this person, but this person's showing up as a page 3 times, okay? Like, I don't know if this is somebody who's younger than you or what the hell's going on here, but if it's one thing that I will say is that you're far more mature. Like, y'all don't even have the same mindset. Y'all basically might as well not even speak the same language at this point, even though you guys probably do speak the same language, but you know what I mean? Like, you guys are very, 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 very different. Like, you're very responsible. Like, you're very, like, you know, mature. Like, they're very irresponsible and very, very immature. Pages are, you know, people that are very codependent. So this person, you know, may be extremely codependent off of you. Maybe this person relies and depends on you for a lot of things. You know, that's definitely a possibility. An Empress is somebody who doesn't need a man or woman for anything. Like, they could do bad all by themselves. They can take care of themselves. They don't need nobody for absolutely anything. Anyways, so in regards, okay, to how this person plans on moving forward, I do feel like this talk is definitely going to, like, you know, catch them off guard. I don't necessarily feel like they're going to see all this coming, which is kind of surprising considering the fact that we had so many negative cards to describe this dynamic. I mean, it looks like a pretty toxic and unhealthy relationship. You know what I mean? So the fact that they're kind of showing up like, no complaints whatsoever, you know, they're, you know, I mean, this person hasn't fucking made in the fucking shade with you. I'm gonna be honest, like, they haven't made in the shade with you. I mean, everybody does when they stumble across an Empress, you know, like, everybody has a made in the shade. I mean, you guys are considered to be the total package. You guys are all of the queens in one. An Empress is all of the queens in one. So they possess a lot that, you know, any man and a woman would essentially want to have by their side. But yeah, dude, I feel like this person's under the impression that all is good / great, you know, between you and them, you know, but I feel like once this I guess, like, it's so weird that they're showing up like this, but I guess. But with the Ace of Wands to the 9 of Wands to the Ace of Swords to the 3 of Swords, this conversation that you're about to have with this person is going to catch them off guard. It's like they're not going to see all of this coming. They're not. The bottom of the deck, I do feel like when you initially have this conversation with this person, they're not going to necessarily take you seriously initially at first. I don't know if you've told this person many times that you just don't want to do this with them or what the case may be, but I am definitely getting that they're not gonna necessarily take you seriously at first, but once they see how determined you are to walk away from this entire situation, that's when reality is gonna start to kind of, like, you know, sink in. And with the 3 of Swords to the 5 of Cups, I mean, this is like the epitome, right, of somebody, like, shedding tears, basically. Because they're losing you, right? They're losing you and the marriage that they, you know, share with you, or the relationship that they share with you, or the life that they share with you. They're basically losing you. We have the 8 of Swords, we got the 4 of Swords, and then we also have the 3 of Cups. Even though though this relationship is coming to an end and it's leaving them extremely sad and, you know, depressed, this person kind of feels like, how do I say this? And I feel like they're going to have a rude awakening over this right here. But I feel like this person's under the impression that eventually you guys will like get back together. I personally don't see that happening, unfortunately. I don't really see that happening. Okay. I really don't. Tell me more about the Emperor. Yeah. And here's the thing, right? This is you coming to terms with the fact that, all right, boom. Nah, this person's showing up as a, hold up. This person, wait a minute. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this person showed up harnessing all of the pages. Oh, no, no, no. Very, very immature, especially for their age. They don't basically act their age is kind of what I'm getting. But anyways, you came down to this conclusion, right, that you just don't deserve, right, to have someone like this, you know, by your side. I think that you're accepting the fact that this person is just never going to be what you truly want them to essentially be and what you truly want to have, right? By your side. However, I do see you meeting, wait, don't run from me. I do see you meeting an Emperor very, very soon. So it's like, and it might happen like, it might happen shortly after this entire situation comes to an end, because I don't feel like it's going to take too long, Virgo, until you meet this Emperor over here. Yeah, it's not going to take you too long until you meet this Emperor, but I feel like, I feel like when this Emperor like tries to like make their move on you, Virgo, because they do feel very drawn to you and your energy, we kind of see some resistance coming from you. And I do feel like it has a lot to do with your relationship with this person. Like, I feel like you're like, okay, God, how do I explain this? Like, it's like you look at all men, like all men are the same. All men are dogs, you know what I mean? But they're not, you know, it's like you're falling into this mentality of all women are beeps, you know what I mean? Even though they're not, you know, not to say the actual word, but you know what I mean? Like, I think that you need to kind of like, I just said this in somebody's reading recently. I think it was yesterday I said this, but you need to break out of this like belief that you have and or mentality that you have. And the only way to honestly do that is by allowing yourself to essentially get to know this Emperor. Because once you get to know the Emperor, you'll see how different they are compared to like this one over here. Like, this is like a massive upgrade when it comes down to, you know, love is concerned. I mean, you go from dealing with somebody who's very immature to dealing with somebody who's very mature. You go from dealing with somebody who's very irresponsible to someone who's extremely responsible. You go from dealing with somebody who's super childish, plays a lot of childish games, petty. Like, an Emperor is somebody who doesn't have time for all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, an Emperor is somebody who has too much to do, and they also have too much responsibilities to sit up here and play games with anybody. And that's a drastic difference, right? It's like this one over here has time to be childish. This one over here has time to be petty. They have time to play games. Like, an Empress is somebody who doesn't have fucking time for that shit. Like, an Empress is somebody who's too grown for that, and they most of the time have a lot of responsibilities, right? So with that being said, like, an Empress, just like an Emperor, like, they're not gonna make room for fuckery, you know, because they have too much on their plate, man. Like, and by the time their day is done and over with, they're fucking tired, man. They don't want to sit up here and play no damn games with absolutely anybody. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you need to break out of this mentality of all men are dogs and all women are this, that, and the third. Like, because once you get to know this person, you'll see for yourself that that is like so not the case. So not the case. It's like a night and day type of situation, Virgo. So break out of this mentality. I'm not saying run off into the sunset with the man or run off into the sunset with this woman. I'm not saying all that. What I'm saying is just to allow yourself to get to know this person. Don't be so quick to assume that this person, you know, is just like this one, because it, honey, when I tell you it's a night and day type of situation, it's a night and day type of situation, you know? So I get the hesitancy, I understand, but you need to break out of this mentality, because I don't want you to like spend the rest of your life thinking that all men are the same and all women are the same when, I mean, yeah, that's just not, that's definitely not the case whatsoever. So we see them you know, obviously trying to pursue you because they feel very drawn to you, right? And your energy. You, on the other hand, you're just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Oh, no. Because they're probably just like this one when they're deaf child. It's a night and day type of situation. But I feel like the only way, because that's the thing, when you meet a person, you know, it's not like, yeah, it's like when you meet a person, you don't really know if they are a page or an emperor, or if they're a page or an empress. You don't really know until you actually allow yourself to get to know that person. That's what I'm telling you, right? Is that on the surface, you may think they're like X, Y, and Z, but if you were to really get to know them, you'll see for yourself that is not the case. You know what I mean? Okay, so that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.